The Coonhound Collective podcast is brought to you by CZ Welding and Custom Dog Boxes. Dog boxes built by hunters for hunters. Check these guys out today. This is your host, Jason Snellgrove, and I will be your guide as we journey down the road to pleasure hunt or hitting the long trail to those great comp hunts. This is the Coonhound Collective podcast. All right, go ahead.
Welcome to the Coonhound podcast.
There you go. That is Augustus, and Vaughn. Augustus Vaughn Spencer. Very good. Well, Augusta, let's have it. Let's hear about this hunt. What hunt did you win?
About the last youth hunt for kids.
He won the Kentucky State Youth Hunt.
Kentucky State Youth Hunt. So, what kind of dog was you hunting?
English dog.
English.
Yeah. Do you like English dogs? Is that your favorite, or you got a different favorite?
That's favorite.
That's your favorite?
But he said that was his papa's favorite.
Oh, that's your papaw's favorite. Okay. What's your favorite?
Stay close, man.
Probably English too.
Yeah. Well, I've got a kennel full of English dogs myself.
A good deal.
Good deal.
So, what did you think about winning that hunt? Did you call your dog and strike and tree him and all by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. You do you hunt?
Like until the last job, I cannot tell which.
Come over here. I can't hear you.
Well, until the last drop, I didn't know which was the dog I was hunting and other boy's dog.
Yeah. So, how many other people were on your cast? Was it two more or three more?
I think it was about.
It was a 4-dog cast.
4-dog cast. Okay. So, can you tell us a little bit about that cast? What your dog did? How you operated? How many coons did you tree?
4.
4 coons. Man, you was putting it on them then.
Yeah, she had 2 by herself and then 2 with dogs.
Wow. Well, that's pretty good. I'd be happy to tree 4 a night around here.
That's just a common night around here.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty exciting. How old are you?
6.
6 years old and Kentucky State Youth Champion. How about that?
Yeah, he done an excellent job of handling these dogs.
Yep.
So
we put a lot of time. We put a lot of time into it, getting him ready, and he done an excellent job.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that here in just a minute about helping a kid get ready and what it takes. But what all prizes did you win for winning that?
So I win 2 dog treat bags, a big dog feed bag, 2 dog balls, and a trophy, hunting light, coon stroller, and I think that's it.
A $500 scholarship.
Yep, $500 scholarship.
Wow, that's pretty good. You're set up to go to a trade school or a college already, and sound like you got some coon hunting gear that'll last you a little while.
Yeah, he won a new big dog light.
Wow, that's a nice one.
And now, and I also got a big dog sticker and I put it on my door.
What kind of sticker was it?
Big dog.
Big dog. Okay. Well, whenever I get done talking to your papa, I'm gonna get him to send me his address, and I'm gonna send you a couple of stickers myself.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I think that covers the youth part. Let's talk about Papaw. How did you get into coon hunting and kind of tell us where you're from and fill the listeners in on all that?
All right. Well, I'm from Mount Sterling, Kentucky. I was born and raised here. I've been around here about all my life. I'm 66 years old now, and I got into coon hunting with my dad when I was 7. My dad, he hunted anything he'd look up. He was basically a red bone man, but he'd hunt anything at tree coon. And I was raised up around dogs all my life. Either rabbit hunting or coon hunting or bird hunting or squirrel hunting or something. I always had a dog involved.
Or dog hunting.
I've been hunting since I was 7, so that's 59 years.
Yes, sir.
I've seen that.
So
go ahead.
So how did you? So obviously, probably back then, was your dad competition hunting back then, or were y'all just hunting, hide hunting, meat hunting, that type of thing?
Well, no, my dad, he competition hunted up in his later years. He didn't, of course, he didn't start out competition hunting. He just no hide hunter, we lived at that time. We lived in Owen County, and there's a lot of coon down there, and coons was high back then, And he had an old red bone female he called Kate, and I guess she was a good one. I never did get to hunt with her, but she was a good one, I guess. And Lord, he'd fill the stripping room and the garage and everything with coon hides back then.
Yeah, that was definitely when coons were high. That was a popular thing to do. People, went out and harvested coons and sold their hides, and there was a downturn whenever the fur market went down. But I almost, I mean, I know some people say it's a dying sport, but I almost see an uptick back in it, here as of late. We
Yeah,
we
I
had.
agree with. I agree with you. I'm seeing more youth hunters or more younger guys around the bigger hunts, and I'm seeing more youth hunters around these youth huntings and youth events.
Yeah. Well, and we have PKC hunts, around here, you can be the one pretty much any night of the week, within an hour or two drive, and there's different faces showing up there all the time. So I think it's headed it back in the right direction. I do think there was a downturn there, but I do think it's headed back in the right direction. And just like your grandson there, 6 years old, you got him on the right path, and got him out there in the woods and already got him some exposure and winning the youth state there in Kentucky, and that's what it's about.
Yeah. I've got another grandson that likes to go too. He didn't want to go to state hunt, but he likes to go. He's 9, and he likes to go some too. He's not as enthused about it as Augustus is, but he likes to go. And I've got another little grandson. He's just about 6 months old, so we'll see where he's at.
Well, that's important. And I tell you, I've got 2 kids. I've got 4 kids actually. The oldest one coon hunted with me when she was small, and as she got older, she kind of got away from it. And the next one, he's been with me a few times, and he kind of likes just going. And then the next one, my youngest boy, him and my youngest girl went with me, has been with me quite a bit, and about ruined them, trying to train puppies, because you don't get to see game in a tree all the time when you're messing with puppies, and kids like to see good dog work, and they know when a dog's working good and when it's not.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Well, tell us about a little bit about the dogs that you've had through the years, and bring us up to today.
Well, I started out back when I first started. The first dog I ever owned was a Walker female, and my dad brought her home in a glove compartment of a '66 Ford Falcon, and he gave her to me, and we named her Spencer Singing Rose, and she was directly by an old dog called Deep River Mike. I know you've heard of him. And out of a female called Harper's Sparball Ann. And I kept her till she was 6 years old, and somebody stole her. And then I bought a dog or two, you know, and old trade dogs and this and that and the other, and just fooled around. And then I bought a little dog he was about 3/4 hound and 1/4 shepherd or something other. I called him Little Spot. And he was a coon trend machine. He didn't have a big hunt gear about him, but about 200 yards was about doing. But if he struck a coon in that 200 yards, it was treed somewhere. And then I got to hunting with a guy that by the name of Alan Turner, and me and Alan's been hunting together since 1972. All these years we've always hunted together, and we've owned a bunch of good dogs together. And me and Alan went in partners and bought a few dogs, and then we hunted walkers, and we hunted everything in the world, you know. And finally we were sitting there one day, and he said, Squeak. He calls me Squeak. He said, Squeak. He said, let's buy us a stud dog. And
he calls me Little Squeak.
And he said, let's buy us a stud dog. And I said, what do you want to buy? And he said, well, we have to buy an English dog. He said, everybody's got walker dogs. He said, we'll have to buy an English dog. And I said, all right, let's buy one. So we went together and bought the dog Al Gibson had up there, a dog called Gibson's Blue Boy Bean. And we bought that old dog and brought him down here in Kentucky. And he come out of Michigan. First few nights we hunted him, we didn't like exactly how he done things down here and all these fences and stuff, but he got adjusted to it. And we bred a lot of females to him, had several good dogs out of him. And we ended up with one dog there we called Bean's Blue Boy Buck. That was our old Bean, and he was a 96 AKC world champion English dog. I won that 96 AKC English hound with him that year. And then we had a couple of blue females out of him that was real nice females. And then we ended up with a female that come from Ed Allen and Steve Allen, female called Horseman's Timber Queen. And we placed her in the World Hunt 4 times. She won part of English Days, part of Autumn Oaks. She's in the AKC Hall of Fame. Probably the cast winningest dog I ever put on a lead strap. She was one of them kind of dogs. If you treat 1 coon or 10 coons, she'd figure out a way to win that cast. And she was just special. Well, there's 3 dogs buried out here in my backyard. 2 of them's Beagle Hounds and her. And there's been 1,000 went through here, but that's the only 3 that's ever made the backyard. And
but before we get any further up, what were these dogs bred out of? Old Bean was directed by Blue Boy Red.
Okay. he was junior bred dog, and Old Queen was directly by Timber Spar Buck, and out of the old Polly female that Ed and them won Autumn Oaks with 2 years in a row. And they were all junior bred dogs.
Okay.
And then we bred those junior bred dogs for years, and we had a male dog that was carrying on the tradition, and we took him to the Grand American down there, and he got sick on the way home and died 2 days later after we got home. He was just a 2-year-old dog, and he was a special little outfit now. We called him Sid.
Yeah, it's tough when they're young like that, and you see the potential that they could have, and they get sick and died. I had one, a black and tan here at the house that was young, and he ended up getting cancer and dying before he was 2. And it is tough whenever you kind of, I don't know, maybe most people ain't like me. I was kind of counting on him to be my dog, and to have to back up and punt, it makes it tough. Not only lose your buddy, but to have to back up and regroup and figure out what direction to go in next.
Yeah, start all over. Well, I said he was the last one. We had another old dog we called Bones, and he was directly out of an old junior bred female, and by a dog that we had that was a junior bred dog, we hunted him in a cast one night, and he got snake bit, and down in country that there ain't no poisonous snakes, but evidently they were logging in that country, and evidently one come off a log truck or something other, and he got rattlesnake bit and steriled him. He went sterile. So we never did get a pup out of him. So then we had to back up and, like you said, back up and punt, we had to regroup and start all over, and we just kind of went looking around the country and finding some of them junior females, and getting them back in, and we bred them to the buck dog, and of course old Buck was by old Bean and I have a full litter mate sister to Swamp Rooster, and so that threw a shot of Swamp Rooster in there then and junior stuff, and then we started out crossing on that, and we got kind of out of dogs, nothing we didn't really like, and how you do, you just, the coon dogs will treat coons, but not the way you want it done, you know what I mean? And so we ended up buying a dog out of Oklahoma, dog called Wild Times Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
And we bought that dog and brought him in here, bred several females to him. He was absolutely a coon trim machine. The Kentucky Houndsman Association down here has a runoff that they run for dogs, and they have 7 events. You have to hunt all 7 events, and the dog that ends up with the best score, best points accumulated out of that 7 events is the Hound of the Year in the state of Kentucky. And we won that with him 2 years in a row, and was leading it the 3rd year, and I sold him. That old dog won the state youth twice. A girl handled him for me. I had a little girl handling him for me, a girl named Dakota White, and she handled him for me all the time.
Yeah. So do y'all call the dog that y'all won that Augustus won the Kentucky's youth hunt with it? Is that what y'all call him?
That's what we call her. Yeah.
Her. I'm sorry, her. Is she out of some of that stuff, the Puss in Boots or some of those dogs?
She's out of a female that goes back to some of that old junior stuff we had, and she's directly by that Hatchet River style dog. Yeah,
she's a good looking hound. I like those blue ones. My buddy Brett Stevens, he gets on to me all the time, but I'm a fan of the blue ones for sure, or not just the blue ones, the odd color ones, but I do like the blue colored English dogs for sure.
Yeah, I do too. The old queen female that I was talking about, she was blue. Old It's blue. Old Bean was blue. Bones was blue. We've had a lot of good blue dogs. The hammer dog we had back several years ago, he was blue. But right now we've kind of got a line of dogs going that I've got a granite dog here I call Curly, and he's off a dog I had, a granite dog called Banjo that was by Viper Creek Joe, and I have a full litter mate sister to Puss. And I bred several females to old Banjo, and I come up with this Curly dog. And Curly is his mama. It goes back to that Shane Montgomery's, that old log chain Leroy dog, and several of them dogs, And but now she's just a different kind of dog. She's action packed. She's gonna make something happen. She's quick about everything she does. She don't blow out of the world, but she'll go hunting. But she won't pass a coon up if it's 20 yards or 3 miles. She'll get under it.
Well, that's kind of what you want and kind of what you need, really. Nowadays. How old is she?
She just turned 3.
Okay, and have you bred her at all yet?
No, I haven't bred her.
Okay. Yeah, she's that's kind of what you're looking for. I got a English hound here at the house that I'm actually taking Friday, and we're going to try our luck at the zones up in Palmyra, Missouri. And he is Swamp Rooster on the top and Charlie Seven on the bottom, and he kind of he has his spells. I'll say that, but for the most part, he kind of hunts the same way. He gets out, he hustles, he stays busy. Um, he he can get himself into some trouble, but he also can can look halfway decent one a night or two here or there. So it sounds like she's kind of sounds like him where she gets out and hustles around and gets coon street.
Yeah, well, I hunted her at English Days. See, I won English Days with her in 21, and she was just 2 when I won English Days with her up there. Well, she wasn't hardly 2. And I jerked her off 17 trees in 3 nights and looked at the coon on 17 trees.
Holy smokes, man! I lived in Illinois for about a year, and the coon hunting from where I'm from was unreal over there with the amount of coons that they have. And I bought a place here just outside of Branson, Missouri, kind of in the foothills of the Ozark Mountains, and I don't have the coons here that I've had in other places that I lived.
Yeah, I got a buddy who lives down in your country there. Uh, Clint Harp, you know Clint?
No, I don't. I don't guess I do.
He had that dog they called Trigger. Uh,
Okay.
he he was off Puss in Boots, and his mother and Carly's mother is the same dog.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I Brett Stevens. He lives I don't know about 45 minutes east of me, and we don't
She
get.
got the lone she got the lone survival dog.
Yep, he's got the lone survivor dog, Loner, and we don't get to pleasure hunt a lot together, but we talk dogs quite a bit, and maybe get together and hang out, and we've hunted a couple times together. So he's as far as English dogs, he's probably that I know of anyway the closest guy to me. There's a few other guys here local right around me that's got a few little dogs here or there. Hey guys, this is Jason over at the Coonhound Collective podcast. Is your dog box starting to get wore? Maybe it's starting to get a little cracked like mine is. Maybe you've just been thinking about it's time to upgrade to a new box, but you've asked your buddies and you're just not real sure what direction to go in. Well, let me help you out here. Go check my friends out at CZ Welding and Fabrication, custom dog boxes and aluminum products on Facebook. You can check out all their custom work they do there and their designs that they do. If you don't see something that you don't exactly like there, reach out to Nathan at 540-810-5439, 540-810-5439, or send him a message through the Facebook page. I bet he can fix you up. Don't wait till fall to get that new dog box. Go ahead, get that dog box now. Get you something looking good in the back of your truck that you can be proud of and that you can haul your dog around in comfort. Check my friends out at CZ Welding and Fabrication. You won't go wrong. Dog boxes built by hunters for hunters. Get yours today. CZ Welding and Fabrication.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just made a cross. I got the pups are on the ground now. They're about 8 weeks old. I bred a puss female, night champion puss female to this curly dog I've got, which doubles up on that timber tiger stuff. And that I'm awful pleased with the way the pups is acting. I showed them coontail the other night. They're 7 weeks old. I showed them coontail the other night. There's 11 of them in the kennel there, and 9 out of the 11 just locked it back and rolled with it. And,
Yeah,
I mean, they got huge mouths.
yeah, that's what you want for sure. Speaking of puppies, there was a couple of guys throwed your name out there, and basically said that you've probably forgot more about hunting and getting dogs going than most folks out there. How do you go about picking that puppy that you want to keep from the litter? Is there something you look for specific?
Yeah, me and Alan, we're in partners on all these dogs, and the way we do it, we'll get there together in the kennel there one day or in the barn where we got them at, and we'll go through them and we'll pick us out forward, and we'll pull them out, and we'll put them forward to the side and sell the rest of them, give them away, whatever, and let guys that hunts with us have them or something, and we'll pick out those four, and we'll just keep watching them four. We won't even pay no attention to the rest of them. Them four's our pick. And we just watch them progress and watch them grow and watch their actions and watch their eyes and see how they react to different things. And then when they get up 5, 6 months old, we start turning release cones to them and put an old dog with them and turning release cones to them. And if they're going to come to the front, at about 8 or 10 release cones, but they're coming to the front.
Okay, yeah, that's. I've heard some people, turning release coons to them, and I've done a combination of a little bit of everything, and probably screwed a bunch of dogs up too. So, but yeah. So whenever they, I guess, you start seeing what you want out of them from those release coons, or are you taking them in and hunting them with that older dog in the woods on wild coon, or are you taking them by themselves, or what do you do then?
Are you looking for a hound that is producing winning puppies? One that is throwing proven winners? Then look no further than Grand Night Champion, Silver Champion Stylish Bushwhacker. His pups have earned $450,000 in PKC and $80,000 in pro sport. He is a PKC Super Stake and UKC Performance Sire and number 3 on UKC Current Reproducer List. He is throwing hard-going, hard treeing, get in there, get it done tree dogs. If interested in breeding to Bushwhacker, contact Justin Davenport on Facebook or at 954-614-8138. Bushwhacker is located in Fredericksburg in chilled or live breeding.
When I get one started running, treeing on them release cones, I'll jerk him up and start hunting him by himself. And he might be 8 months old, or he might be a year old. But when I see what I want to see, when I see he's popped and he's got that sense to look up, I'm funny. There's 2 things a dog's got to do to suit me. He's got to go hunting, and he's got to get treed and stay treed. And if he won't go hunting and he won't stay treed, he won't eat here long.
Whenever you take them from turning that release coon free, you take them out right by themselves, and you start. Are you having to walk on them, or are they just going on their own after that, or?
Well, what I do, I got spots down here that in cornfield time and acorn time, and when coons is working the creeks and stuff, I got places I know I can get after a coon. And I was taking an old pup, 7 or 8 months old, and walking around the edge of cornfield, and he smelt them release cones. He knows what he's looking for, and as soon as he starts running and treeing them, but it ain't long till you can drop him anywhere and he'll go look for one.
Yeah, I used to.
Well, I mean, you'll start some on them release cones that'll look real good on them release cones, and then they may never be able to tree cone, out in the wild. Some of them, all of them don't make. I mean, it's just, that's part of it. That's the reason we pick 4. That's the reason we always pick us 4 pups.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good advice there for somebody that's got some some pups and are trying to make a decision on what to do, is pick more than one to take a look at there. But
Well, you pick out four like that, and you get them together, and you watch them all the time. You pay more attention. You pay more attention to four than you will 11 in a pen or 10 in a pen, or you can kind of single them out the way you want to watch them. And my buddy Alan, he's one of the best I ever seen at picking pups. I mean, he just and he's one of the best hands to start a dog there was. I mean, he can absolutely start a dog now.
yeah, and that's that's
I
important.
myself, I'm not I won't lie to you. I wouldn't tell you at all. I'm not a pup man. Uh, I like to take a dog that's running trend and then put the finishing touches on them. When I bought her, a kid had her down in the hills down there, and he'd been a squirrel hunting her in the daytime and coon hunting her a little bit of the night. And she'd run and tree, but that was about all she knowed. And it took me 2 months to get her off them squirrels. And I like to never got her off of them. She loved them. And but after she quit fooling them squirrels after night, then she went to tree and coon consistently. And I just kept hunting her. And 30 days before English days in 21, I had another female here, a Main Street Lightning Jack female, that I was going to hunt at English days. And 2 days before we got ready to leave, she came in heat. So I had to move down one stall in the kennel, and I just picked her wheel up and took her to English days. And for 4 days up there, I never seen a dog, and I don't guess I've ever turned a dog loose that looked any better.
Boy, and it is something special whenever you've been hunting one, you've been out there hammering it, and trying to, like you said, get her broke off squirrels and stuff like that, and then that switch flips, and it's like they're a different dog.
Oh yeah. She just figured out that she wasn't supposed to fool squirrels. She's supposed to tree coons. And then she went to tree coons, and I just pounded her, buddy. I mean, I hunted the hair off of her. I mean, I hunt 6 nights a week, and I try to keep 3 dogs hunted up all the time, because I got a boy that handles for me, a boy by the name of Andrew Ratliff. He handles for me. He hunts the curly dog most of the time for me.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that a little bit, because I've interviewed several people, and one common denominator in success is good bred dogs, people that get out there and stay with them, but also people that's got a team of people around them. That's one of the common denominators that I see. People that, they either have people they can put puppies in the hands of, or like yourself, have a partner and a handler that can hunt some dogs for you. How important is that to be successful in this sport?
Well, it's too much work for one man to do by himself, I'll tell you. I mean, I've got 3 boys, and every one of them will coon hunt. I've got, I don't know, 10 or 11 grandchildren, and this little one is the most enthused about coon hunting of any of them. But you just got to have help. My wife's the best help it ever was. I mean, she don't care if I come in here at 2:00 in the afternoon and I tell her I'm going to take me a nap, I'm going hunt tonight. She said, well, I didn't figure there was any other thing for you to do tonight except go hunting. So, I mean, we've been together 39 years, and I've been coon hunting ever since the first day I met her. And but she understands that that's what I like to do, and she's a big help. If I go off on a road trip somewhere hunting or go to a big hunt somewhere, she takes care and feeds my dogs, and what dogs is left here at the house, and I mean, you just can't do it unless you got a team effort. And then I've got the boy that handles for me, Andrew, and then of course Alan. He still hunts. He's 72, but he still hunts. And we've got another boy that's just kind of started picking up and going with us, a boy by the name of Isaiah Miller, and he's got a dog of his own. He's getting some age on him, and he's got a young dog off my curly dog right now. He's trying to get started. He's got him running trend, so he's kind of on the way. And he's about, I think he's 11 or 12 months old.
Yeah. I know with me, I'm out there, and I wish my kids would be more involved than what they are. But like I said, I about burn them out hunting puppies. So I definitely understand. And my boy, if I ask him, he'll go with me. And there's sometimes that he wants to go, but I know whenever I have to leave the house or whatever, they're right there to step up and feed dogs and look after dogs, make sure they got feed and water and stuff like that. And I know that's a important part of especially if you're going to competition coon hunt and run up and down the road, you got to have help.
Yeah, you absolutely do. Even if, even back when I was just running one dog, I mean, when me and Alan were just partners, and we just kept one good dog to run up and down the road with all the time. But it's a big help just to have somebody ride along with you, help drive and help take care of the dog around the hunts and stuff. And if you hunt all night and handle a dog all night, but it's hard to drag out of that bed of a morning and get out there and get the dog out of the truck and feed him and water him and get him up and get him out there and let him use the bathroom and stuff. That's a great big job. So, you got to have help.
I couldn't agree more. Well, is there anything else that we missed, or any dogs that we missed through there that you wanted to cover?
Well, I mean, not really, no. I mean, there's an old dog that I owned half of. Well, and I ended up selling him to Gary Campbell, the boy that owned Bluegrass Amos, an old dog called Bing Bang Boom. We placed him top 20 world hunt a couple of times. He was a big old Loney's bred dog. I bought him off a boy and sold a buddy of mine half of him, ended up buying him back, and ended up selling him to Gary for pretty good money back in them days. I mean, I sold a dog for $5,000 in the early 80s. That was pretty good money.
Yeah, for sure. And I talked to a guy the other night, and I believe he said he had a litter of puppies he sold, and he sold a couple of those puppies for $5,000. That's what he was saying. He said, back in the day, that was just unheard of money.
Oh yeah, I remember when Gary sold Amos to R.F. Dickey. I was standing right there when Dickey counted the money out to him. He gave him $10,000 for that dog. About a year before I sold Gary that other dog, and that was just, that was unreal amount of money. I mean, that was just crazy money for a dog. And,
yeah, and to think about where we're at today, and some of the figures that are thrown around for dogs today is, it's just mind blowing.
Yeah. Well, see, we at one time, Alan, he owned old Red Man. See, he sold him to Steve Allen, and he bought him when he was about 14 months old, and he sold him to Steve when he was about 18 months old. And we've owned a bunch of good ones through the years. Been fortunate to have.
Did I ask something to you?
Yeah.
Did I ask that guy did I tell him?
Tell him.
I mean, what?
Jason Augustus wants to tell you something.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
All of our dog names. So there's Maggie, Burley, Queenie, Kitty, and Bon Jovi.
All right. So which one is your favorite?
I would say my favorite dog of all of them is Curly.
Curly. Okay. What makes him your favorite?
I don't know, just the colors on him.
Just the colors on him. What color is he?
Red. Red dog.
A red dog. Okay.
Yeah. At a distance, he looks like a red bone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it sounds like to me he's going to like the red color ones instead of the blue color ones. Yeah,
he's kind of partial to the red colored dogs. Yeah, he is. He's got a female here he calls Maggie. She's a Lotto 4 female. We're just waiting on her to come in heat to breed to Curly. And she's a nice little female. She'll trail a lot of coons. She's a little weak on her hunting, but she'll trail a lot of coons.
Yeah.
She belongs to him. I gave her to him when I got her. And
well, It sounds like you definitely got him on headed in the right direction as far as coon hunting goes, and he sounds like he knows what he's looking for in a dog.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
I'm telling you now, if you'd have been on that cast the other night, that state youth hunt, and watched that kid handle that dog the way he did, I mean, Jason, we were standing there, and she was 600. I was looking at her on the garment. She was 686 yards in the country in there, and she made two barks, and he struck her, and she located, and he treated her. And I was thinking to myself, Gus, you might have gotten too big a hurry there. And but she just turned it over and rolled it off, and she sat in there and treed for 3 minutes, and nothing ever did cover her until we got right to the tree, and then everything come in there and backed her, and she had a coon. They all took a minus.
you know, talking to some youth people, and especially people as young as him, they don't worry, they don't really think about okay, what does everybody else got on the scorecard? What do I need to do? They just call the dog for what it's doing and just have a good time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what he done. Well, he treated her. He treated her the third time. She was 880 yards. I just barely could hear her, and he just jumped up and struck her and treated her in two barks, and I mean in two breaths.
Yeah, and I really like that. Sometimes I'm out there and I'm thinking, okay, do I need to tree this dog if something happens and he comes treed with the last 3 or 4 minutes? Do I need to tree this dog, or should I hold off? And when those kids are out there, they're just having a ball and having a good time, and they're just calling dogs for what they're doing, and I just think that's awesome.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, Jason, I've never been a defensive handler. I've always been an offensive handler. If mine opens, I'm going to strike it. If yours opens twice and you don't strike it, the third bark you make, he belongs to me. And
yeah, well, and you know what? So I know sometimes some people say that'll get you in trouble, but I the more that I go and the more I participate, and a lot of times in a cast, I'll just pay attention to what other people are doing, and the people that I see winning a lot, especially locally around here, that's kind of what they're doing. They're playing offense more than they are defense.
yeah, I've never been a defensive handler. I've never been that way. If mine locates in there and I'm hunting a one bark tree dog and he locates, I'm treating him right, wrong, or regardless.
Yeah. Well, if I can ever get back to the place that I got a dog that's got a good locate, I would love to be that way. I know the loner dog that we talked about of my buddies, he's got a good locate when he comes on the tree, and if I had him, I'd tree him every time he done it. But the one that I've got here, which he's still young and he's still figuring out. Boy, he's a mixed up basket of chop on ground, chop on tree, and sometimes he'll triple chop as he comes on the tree. Sometimes he just rolls right on the tree, and so you got to be paying attention with him.
Yeah. Is he for sale?
Well, no, I'm gonna hang on to him a little while. I might end up doing something with him later. He's really all I got right now to hunt.
Yeah. I'm looking for a good young dog, something around 2 year old.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some out there. It's just finding the right one and with the right tools that you can do something with.
Well, if you hear of anything, let me know.
Yeah, I will. Well, hey, I appreciate y'all being on the podcast, and Augustus, I appreciate you telling us about your hunt and what you won, and about your Papaw's dogs there.
Okay.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. It was an honor to talk with you today and to have you on the podcast, and hopefully we'll be talking to you more. We'll see you and Id or Maggie or Curly or one of them dogs in more pictures in the future.
Say we will.
Yep, we will.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks, guys, for listening to the Coonhound Collective podcast today. We really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to listen to the podcast. If you don't mind, head over to Facebook and give us a like, and head over to Instagram and give us a follow. It's both at the Coonhound Collective. Also, if you would like to reach us here at the Coonhound Collective, you can reach us at thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. If there's someone that you would like to hear on the podcast or a product that you would like to hear talked about, please send it to thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. Thanks again. Have a great day.